So we have a coming together, listening, hearing, learning from one another, because we are the power and the strength of transformative action.
I am Ira Batman Donelson. I am Freddy Smoke D. Southwell. And we are A Chance and a Choice. And we have a radio show that we're currently working on that's for the people, by the people. Right. The show is geared up to collectivize the community, and we all help to answer the questions that's in the community. It's more of a situation, and I'm speaking to, the truth, right? Black folk, the only race that don't stick together. And so there's reasoning and communication behind that. What we are doing is setting up an imagery that young Black individuals in our neighborhood can see that have a picture, right? So that thing is working in such a way to where two people are not supposed to be working together. His story is phenomenal from a legendary street perspective. I guess they say mine. So if we did all of that stuff and we talking to y'all good, it gives us a level of communication most people don't have to listen to. So it's a chance and a choice.
Right. And we're going to tell you a little bit from like early years and how we got to the point that we are at right now. In my early years, I frequently, my mother took me like Illinois, Chicago, Illinois, St. Louis, but I was born in Jackson, Mississippi. Being the oldest with my mother, I saw a lot of things. So I was privy to see a lot of things. I'm gonna tell you one story though. Since we see here, it was one time we didn't have no food. My mother didn't have no food. She got 5 kids in the house. She moved to St. Louis from Chicago, so she had to walk from all the way across town to like east side and west side. And that's not like right across the street, if anybody knows what I mean. That's a big city. We was little kids. I had to be about 8, 9. My sister had to be about, a year behind me. And my other 2 sisters, they was in there. And my 2 sisters' brother, one of my sister's brother, they just laid out like, Mama ain't coming back. She is not coming back because she left walking there and got like 5, 6 o'clock. We was waiting on her. We probably had to 8 in the whole day. So my sister tapped me on the shoulder. This is sometime when you do wrong, but it's what you think is for the right reasons. My sister tapped me on the shoulder. I'm young, I'm naive, don't know what's going on, but I know we need to eat. She says, the door opened across the hall from us. I looked, I said, okay. I walks out the house. I get up and walk out. And as I'm walking out, she's right behind me. I said, sis, I see him watching TV. I'm going to go to his refrigerator. All you got to do is watch out for me. So I'm 9 years old. I make it all the way to the refrigerator and get everything I was trying to get. And I made it all the way out the house and made it back to my mama's house. She was still gone. We had to cook, got rid of the evidence. Well, we thought we got rid of the evidence. And we was laying there. My sister's brother, they was laid out on the mattress when I come back in there with the food. And they laying right there. I said, hey, y'all Mama ain't come back. We finna die. Kids, we kids. But our mama is trying to hold on to keep us together. She did it. I love her for that. But we ate. We was up. We was moving around and doing everything. By the time she made home, it was 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. She had tug bags of grocery from the east side of St. Louis all the way to the west side of St. Louis to feed her kids. That's what a woman do. See, so she got there. We was up. She was looking. She said, go down there and get them bags. We flew downstairs. Get the bag right in. She's looking like, oh, boom, 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 boom. There go that knock. All of us look. Everybody here, there's a say. he opened the door. How you doing? He said, hey, ma'am, I think your kids been in my house. I don't know how he knew he had been in that house, but he knew. He said, I believe your kids been in my house. And you know, just like any mother, my kids ain't getting nowhere. Get out front of my door. Don't be coming here blaming us. You know, she just took her all the way up. So we sitting there. She goes down to the garbage can. And you know, in Chicago, we got single garbage cans. We goes down to the garbage can. Well, she go down to the garbage can. And she looks in the garbage can. Everything the man say was missing in his house was in our garbage can. So when she came back up there, she looked at everybody in there, and she looked at me. She said, you, come here. I walked up to her. She said, you the only one I know, one of my children that got that hard to do what you just did. But I'm going to tell you something. Don't do that anymore. But I can't whoop you because I understand how you feel about everything. But I want to talk to you about knowing right from wrong. Don't do that. I said, okay. But normally, we know what black mamas do. Tear that rump up. And we was looking for everybody to get it. All those trying to put double pants on and everything. We get ready for the whooping that. But we was full. But that was a story that I wanted to share with y'all. That's a show that at a young age, I was just like any other person, black young person, in the ghetto, in the hood, not having a positive mama working, single parent, and we come back to Jackson. So as we come back to Jackson, we move in the neighborhood, and what neighborhood you in, that's what you represent. So I was in the neighborhood of vice lords. So I represented vice lords, you know. And at that point, that was my life. And that's how kids are living now. They're living in gangs like organizations, like that's their life. You see? So they'll give their life naive enough to do that. And by me and Freddy, I'm gonna call it Smoke D. Can we talk like we on a radio show?
Yeah.
Okay. Me and Smoke, we we saw each other. Smoke was doing his type of thing on the music side. I was doing some music, but I was more in the streets, and I was more on the corner selling drugs, robbing, taking, pillaging, whatever I could do to get some money. That's what I was doing. So I don't know how all Freddy's story. So Freddy be able to give you his story. So I'm gonna have to get just mine. When I met Freddy, I'm real fond of him because I heard his music. And then he went on to do some stuff that no other people did in Jackson. But before I met Freddy, we had seen each other. And he was on the other side. I was on the other side. He probably fond of me, street legendary thing that I was doing. You know what I'm saying? I was fond of him for the music that he was doing because he was doing like Future Rich. I'm talking about out this world music, you know. And that's when we met each other at a young age. We saw each, we'll talk, we'll sit there, act like it's cool. We know it's cool for us to talk. But we know when our people walk over, we gotta, how you doing? I'm gonna holler at you like, yeah, we gonna fight, we're gonna shoot each other, we're gonna shoot each other. But that's just how it was. And we knew we didn't feel like that from the onset about it. We didn't feel like that at the beginning. When we got in, we felt like we could be friends. We could still be friends and operate under the same umbrella and still be cool. We felt like, okay, we black men. We felt like that. We talked like that every time we sat down. We had an intellectual conversation. It wasn't never a, hey man, what's your game? Blah, blah, blah. It wasn't even on that. It was just on a high level of touching each other. Sometimes we get personal with each other. You know, that's what friends do. That's what, like, when you looking at us, that's what we went back to the hood to do. To make it better. Because the damage we caused, we know we caused it. We not sitting here saying we angels and we did this good and all this was like that. No. We probably some of the baddest people at that time, at that point in that era, 30 years ago. In that wavelength, we probably some of the people that did these things, around these things, witnessed these things, and then was a part of it. Because if you witness certain things and don't say them, it makes you a part of it. So with a chance and a choice, we thought about changing the mindset. And we have to change the mindset of people, right? Let me tell you. Hold on. Yeah. Well, we're hot up here. So we wanted to change the mindset of people that thought just like us, that mirrored us, that wanted to be friends that couldn't be friends. Let them know, look, man, it's all right to be friends with this person. You have to be your own person. If you don't be your own person, you left your dad and mama house for another dad and mama, for an organization they're going to tell you. So we speak that on from that language to speaking to the generation, and the things that we'll be able to do, like passing out water, giving jobs to I don't even know what to say. I can't even believe I'm able to give jobs and don't have money. Just have resources of people that I know I can pick up the phone and say, hey, I got a man, I know he a good guy. Give him a chance. He'll do what he supposed to. If he don't, it's on me. And they'll take my word. And everybody so far that I put in a job place, they ain't never left. They still working right now. Asked me yesterday, to make sure they go their job. And that's what a chance and a choice about. Smoke.
Where can I start my story? Oh, peace and blessings to everybody. Glad y'all here. Glad my story starts with the earliest memory I had of my real father. I was climbing the gate in Denver, Colorado. I never saw him again. So, him and my mom got divorced. They moved my mom back to a place called Crystal Springs, Mississippi. At the age of 8, I pulled a gun on my stepdad, my mom. I watched my mom shoot my stepdad. I watched my stepdad shoot my mom. I watched my, everything in my life was guns, right? No playtime. We didn't go to Christmases. None of that. Sit at the table and pray. All I got was like talk to very, very hard. Like my family, they come from the country, and like the way that they raise you is hard. I got a whooping for not even doing nothing. My grandma whooped me and said, "It ain't for what you done did, it's what you gonna do, right?" And they gave me a certain level of rage. You see, from age 8 to age 16, all I thought was about killing my stepdad. I mean, to just see him shoot my mom, she bleeding, I don't know if she dead. I got a younger brother. He a year younger than me, but I'm his daddy, right? At age 16, I tried to kill him. And it was because I caught him in my mama's bed with another woman before she got to work. I just happened to be basketball, she was at home. And I didn't want to run 100 laps. So I ran. And he was in there balled up like a snake, bro. So when he knew I saw him, he tried to prohibit me from leaving to go get, So short story short, on that part, we got into it. And he pulled a knife on me, cut me. I still got that cut to this day. But as fate would have it, God made me victorious against him. He was my biggest enemy my whole life. I feared him like the devil feared God, right? But once that happened, and I overcame that thing, something happened to me. And I decided nobody was going to play with me. And moving forward from that, I was stuck. My mom is so good. She got a good heart, but she got a mind like the devil. She let my stepfather's sister move in with 4 kids and 3 baby. The thing that I saw, you shouldn't see. Not as a kid, but I didn't know that was my norm. You know what I'm saying? I got raped at 12 by a grown woman, right? all of this was my norm. I mean, even to this day, right now, when I walk, this is my now. This is what I got. I can make a plan. Like I was telling this lady back there, you can go fun. You gotta have the ideological mindset to live in it now. So moving on to the music. I had a partner named Telly Funches out of Crystal Springs, Mississippi. He was a rapper. By that time, I was a drug dealer. Sneaky drug dealer, going to school to be a doctor. How about that? And so he invited me to go with him to Michigan to do some music. And I always had a thing with music. Short story with short, he did an EP. And me wanting to help my partner. I got some weed from Michigan that hadn't made it down south yet. So I took that weed, put my partner tape in there, put his picture in there, and I was playing with the promoter, Stokes. You know Stokes, huh? So yeah, Stokes gave it all to him, and I got a call on the phone. I'm riding around, I'm thinking of him some more weed. I get back up, there's a guy like bigger, twice as big as me. Call me back to the limousine, and I met these two guys, transitional guys. And they invited me to come to Port Arthur, Texas for 2 weeks. So I had to ask my mom. I went down and said, Mom, I want to stay. I'm going to get through with this. Be too frivolous here. So, short story was short of the first hit record that they had, I was on it. Still on it now. They did an album, top 50 selling albums in American history. But I've also served 17 years because of that, right? Had a gift, didn't look at it. Me and this man met in the county.
We were seeing each other passing and going. We were talking. Met in the county, really just kind of bonded.
And even then, we was doing a whole lot of stuff we weren't supposed to do. Like, and so
we gotta go into detail. Can we go into detail? Do we got no time? Can we go into detail?
Go ahead, bro.
He talking about stuff like we was still like when we met in county, right? I was this drug dealer, everybody, the mayor was chasing and all this other stuff, charged all kind of murder charge. Anything you can throw in with charge. But that's God navigates you through your situation. And I understood that at the end of that. But while we in the county jail, Smoke was up there. So Smoke did a lot of reading books. He never came to the door. And people just whispered about Smoke. They be like, man, he never come to that big guy, never come to the door. I was like, oh, man, he cool. I'm down there on the other hand. I'm getting weed for the guards, and I'm just doing my thing. And I go up there. I'm the only one go to his door and talk to him. I was the only one that go to his door and talk to him. Because if everybody else went to his door, he didn't even recognize him. He didn't even talk to him. He was laying in bed and act like he didn't hear him at the door. So I go to the door and be like, Smoke, what you doing? He'll come, man, what you got going? We're talking, whatever. Then late on that night, it starts to beat on the door. Boom, 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 boom. Now we're rapping. You know how prison go. Now we're up there singing and rapping, doing our own talent show up here. And Smoke is upstairs. He released a platinum record with a person. And I know he up there, everybody, that's what everybody whispering about. And I said, watch this. I get him to the door. I already know he's finna shut the show down. But you heard me, because he's lyrical. So I get on the floor, I start rapping on the blah, 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 blah. Saying whatever I'm saying, that'll get it started. Once it gets started, Smoke, I'll be like, Smoke. I holler from under the door. He on the top rear. Smoke. Everybody else will holler that he won't come. But he'll come to the, what's up, man? I like, man, come on, man. I know you hear us get down, man. He was like, nah, man, I really ain't feeling it tonight. I'm going to go lay back down. I'm going to holler at you in my bed. I was like, okay. But in my mind, I know he competitive. I know what he hear out here, he go tune in. We'll keep doing it. And all of a sudden, there you go. And when he get through, everybody stop rapping. Everybody later had to go to talk about what just happened.
What you speaking of, as I went through my time, I transformed from a rapper to a messenger. And so when we would get in the quiet of the night in the dorms, I had a DAT player and I could play beats on it. And so what I would do is I would tell the truth to everybody that I existed in that dorm with. You know, you mad at me because I sent you a skeeter leg around the corner, but then I didn't know it was for you. But you gonna say, you know, that kind of stuff, and just telling them the truth and appreciating it.
You know what a skeeter leg is, y'all? Tell them what a skeeter leg is.
Well, the technical term they call it is skeeter leg Jones. It's probably a micro. What's the smallest thing? A cork of weed in some paper. It's more paper. It's nothing as dust.
More paper.
More paper than product. Yeah, but they cost $5 though. You know what I'm saying? So as the music went on, like when I had that hit record on the radio, I got in trouble. I got in trouble in Texas. So when I got in trouble in Texas, I didn't know what that record had did back home. And when I got home, I stayed the same and my whole world changed. People were treating me different. And I thought that they liked me. I really did. I thought that they, and so in the process of that, my brother got into a shootout. My brother now like something else. We're not the same, but we both have the same tendency. So, and me being a protector and being the brother daddy, you know, I'm stepping in it. And I ended up shooting and killing 2 people, right? Short story was shorter. I didn't rape anybody. I didn't rob anybody. So they dropped the 2 counts of murder down to 1 count of manslaughter, right? Because they knew the circumstances, right? But I still had to please we the people because at that time, a dude the week before had shot 5 people. So everybody going to jail. It's voting time. You know what I'm saying? You're going to jail at voting time. You're going to go. So when I got to jail, skipping through, it was the second time I ran into this man named Adolph Bryan. This man helped me from Texas. And he always talked like, hey, smoke it. And me, I'm so serious. I'm like, now I know that this man don't talk like this in a normal human case, right? So I asked him one day, I said, Mr. Adolph, why you talk like that? Because you used to come get the sexy babies from him. Tell you what that is. That's a cup of coffee, right? 1 spoon of, what it is, babe? 1 spoon of coffee, 2 spoons of cream, and 3 sugar.
And you can throw you a sneaker bar in there.
Like a dog. So he used to come get the sexy baby. When I asked him, he said, son, I thought you'd never ask. And he broke out of it. I'm like, what the? He said, listen, these guys in here think that you a big dummy, but I see that you're not. Don't tell them nothing. I want you to walk around here, do-do, do-do, do-do. And it's called switching pictures. It's calling, what it does is you be whoever you need to be in that moment. Because when you're in prison, when someone comes to you, you always got to ask yourself, why are they here? They're not here because they like me. You know what I'm saying? And so with that, I just devised a way of thinking to move around. And as I got all of that time, and I come out of prison without a scratch, and it was because God did it. See, prison wasn't a bad thing for me like other people. It made me the man I need to be for my daughter. It made me the father. I am the head of my family. See, my family is stronger because I came back. So I don't look at things like, you know, maybe regular people, because I feel fine right now. There's a lot of people that didn't go to jail longer, they dead. They come to me and say, man, I feel sorry for you. You did 17 years. My inner man be looking at him and be like, man, I feel sorry for you. You got a whole life sentence in your mind and you don't even know it. You see, it's about how you think about things. We have a gap. I'm gonna pass the ball. We'll get back to communication in a minute. Like, go ahead, bro.
Hey, meanwhile, like, when he was going through all that, right, I was out dealing drugs. I'm gonna keep it raw with you. I was out dealing drugs. I was running the whole neighborhood, and I was facilitating that neighborhood, and I probably was spreading the drugs all across the city. But my name wasn't being mentioned. Everybody was just whispering about my name. I was just table talk. I was just, I I was household talk like Kellogg in Jackson. So like when Frank Miller came, he was a murderer. He came. And I was already in prison for a gun charge, but he came. God's about me being in prison for the gun charge. He went from being a executive. This man was driven. And I thank him for being the person he was to make me the person I am. But he was driven. He said, he spoke, and he did what he said. He went from news executive. You can look this up. It'll tell you everything that I'm telling you is a fact. He went from news executive, old channel WLBT, channel 3 down in Jackson. No law enforcement, no experience or none of this type of stuff. Went straight to over the MBN, that is Mississippi Narcotic Bureau Association. This is what this man did. And I know it took money. Everybody sitting here know it takes money to do what he just did. But not only did he do that, he went on to be mayor. But in his position that he went on to be mayor, I was the person that was his nemesis, I guess. I'm going to say his nemesis. As he spoke, he said, how is Albert Donelson sitting in a federal jail with 60 months? When he has been around murders, I know at least 8 or 9 murders. This is what an executive has said about me of a news station. Had never met me, just heard word about me, and took everybody else's word about me. And everybody that he took word was people just like me. They was people just like me. They was committing crimes. He would have them. He would house them. He would get the crime taken care of. I was already in prison doing time, mind you. I'm going to say that over so you keep remember what I'm telling you. When he spoke it, he went from MBN. MBN is what did I say? Mississippi Narcotic Bureau. They look for narcotics, drugs, weed, cocaine, crack. All right. He charged me with 9 murders from that position that he went to. Now, that's why I say he was a driven man. But y'all gonna agree with me when I tell you the next part of it. As he charging me, I'm in prison, federal prison. I've been there about 4 years. I'm on my way getting ready to get out. I'm thinking about getting out. My mind, I'm happy. I goes into the room. I sees everybody looking up at the television prompter, and the whole zone is at the television prompter. Like, so I'm like, what they looking at? What they looking at? What's going on? Everybody poured the sea like Moses did the Red Sea and let me through. When I got there and seen my face, it seemed like I lost 100 pounds right then. I said, what? And they said they got your whole family. They got your baby mama, all your friends. I didn't believe it. He had 13 people locked up. This is what this man did. Then, after he got everybody locked up, I was already locked up. He turned and ran for mayor. His inauguration, who y'all think his inauguration was about? Me. Batman. He said, Batman, get out of town. I was already out of town, locked down here in Pollock, Louisiana. USP, United States Penitentiary. But he used my name for the catapult everything that he was doing. Because I had put myself in a situation that I was unaware of. I was chasing money just like the average young black man that's out there right now in the streets. They just looking at the money. They ain't looking at the cause and the damage they causing. They just want their money. And when people see a fast flip, they'll try it. You catch people doing from a low aspect to a big aspect. You catch rich people doing fraud all day, every day. But just like lower people that's in the lower poverty area, poor areas, they're selling drugs. They're lending their dollar out for double back on each other back. So, as he said his inauguration, I was listening, I was looking, I was like, this man do not like me. He hates me. I never met him. I never been around him. I don't know what I did to him, but he went from position to position to position. And this is, facts. You can look it up. And I went to trial. I won not guilty. That's only God. That's only God. Because I can tell you right now, when I gave up, I did not worry no more. I went back, after I looked at that prompt, I went back in that cell and I sat down. I lost, like I told you, I lost 100 pounds. I probably cried. My cellie came in and looked at me, went back out and put a towel up to the woman. And said his chair in front of the door, said, just leave me alone. I had lost hope. I had lost everything that I had knew. Tears was falling, bawling. It wasn't nothing I could do. So I gave it to God. I said, God, if you see fit for me to be in a prison for the rest of my life, then this is where I'm going to be. Yeah. But if you see fit for me to come free, I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do. And when I come free, this is what I've been doing.
Let me see. Maybe I can share some of these experiences and show you how I learned from them. I had a friend. I lived in the north side of Jackson. That's where the gangsters did. Gangsters disciples. I had a clique of guys over there that followed me because I did music. They want to be rappers too. And I misguided them. I really misguided them. I came back 10 years later. None of them was the same. One guy in particular, I got a call from a drug dealer with a lot of money trying to give me a job. I didn't take the job. So he went and called one of my dudes. And I couldn't get in the way of it because this dude, right? So he took the job. And I knew what was going to happen to him when he took the job. The same dude that was giving him the drug was robbing him to keep him under the pen, right? And I'm sitting there, I'm talking to his cousin or whatever. And so they wanted, like, when you do certain stuff, music, or you got something, you know, most dope boys going to buy somebody to kill somebody. I was all of it wrapped in one. A rapper, I didn't need it. I get my own money. That's the way I was. I never did anything in Jackson because I knew it was dangerous. Anyway, we got a brand new Benz off the showroom floor. I seen them get it. But what I didn't know is when they dipped off, they put a trap in it. And in that trap, they put 15 kilograms of cocaine in it. Me, I'm just rap hustling, but I know these dudes was doing what they was doing, and they knew, you know, I'm trying to, but I still need my money. See, so we got a call. The rule is you ain't never been to jail. I'm a convicted felon already, right? You're supposed to take that lick, especially when you knew it wasn't mine. Now, mind you, I had a pistol, and I was a convicted felon. I was supposed to have it. But this guy told God on Jesus. You hear me? I'm gonna say that again. This guy really told God on Jesus. You see? And when he tried to tell God, it didn't work. See? With the police, honestly, they took some of the drugs. But what they didn't know is that this man's mama was a U.S. Marshal. See? So they put them at fault. At first, it was all mine because of my history. Show you how God do. He went back to Texas, got some more dope, and got popped again. He made parole. It don't take a rocket scientist to know what he's doing now. You know what I'm saying? So then he get caught third time in the same place we got caught the first time. And because he had money, everybody in the streets believed him. I had people coming to me that I didn't have to go, but I knew what they came with. I learned the difference between the price of something and the cost of something. They're not the same. See? So years later, I'm a rat. Smoke D a rat, he a rat. But what they didn't see is that I got 20 years and this guy got 15. What I do, rent for free? That's what I did. On top of that, I paid $25,000 to get a lawyer to watch a lawyer to watch a lawyer. I keep this recording in my phone right now. Because when they approach me and I ain't got an answer,
Let me see, said the blind man. So I have to let him see where we come from. I mean, crazy stories. I learned the true definition of power. I could get to that story, but anyway, that dude told him he came back to Mississippi and he told on everybody else. Now, everybody else that was against me, get what they did. See, they gone. So I'm gonna tell you about power. And I'm gonna pass it back to my brother. I was in Louisiana in prison. See, I'm Smoke D, but Smoke D is not the total circumference of who I've evolved to become, right?
Right.
But Smoke D is still a part of me in certain situations because I know I need him. That was the superhero I created to beat my stepdaddy since I was a little boy. It's a figment of my imagination, right. But I had to protect myself because I waited on my dad. He ain't never show up. So I created the superhero that I wanted to come get me, right? So, power. I'm Smoke D. Dumb. Stupid. I laid down there and had somebody smoke something about this short, about that big or small, into these folks' facility. Now, me, I'm a nice guy. I don't bother nobody. I can give you the shirt on my back, but I'm not a sweet guy. It's a difference, right? It's a big difference. So me, with my mastermind, I decided I'm gonna take some of this weed and I'm gonna roll up 1,000 Skeeter legs. 1,000 of them, Skeeter leg Johnson. And I ain't gonna say a name, I'm gonna give them away. You know why? Because I want everybody to be hot so can't nobody tell on me. Right?
You know how we think?
Yeah. And they gonna take it too. And when they take it from me, they're speaking to me. Because if you don't accept me, you're not gonna accept that which comes from me. I learned how to talk nonverbal. And it was great because I'm like in this class, I'm gonna get out and kill a word. I got that stuff in there. And in Louisiana, they don't have gang. They have parishes, Times Street for New Orleans. Y'all know how I go, baby. I lived down here long enough I can talk like it, but that's part of my skill set. If I need to be in New Orleans, baby, where that fur at, huh? You see? And you'll never tell the difference. That's part of and so dude from Louisiana, trees, he came in, they're gonna pick a fight, they're gonna take my stuff, they're gonna ambush us. Okay. Either you're gonna be scared, you're gonna get some more time, or you're gonna be scared to die. Are you? No. So when I grabbed him, I had death on my mind. When I tell you his homeboys started growing out the floors and the walls like meat, walls like plants, I had 13 guys in there ready to stick me for some of my stuff. See? To show you how God worked, the only reason I got away was because I was nice to the big dog at another camp. God bless Donelson and Freddy. Woo! You hear me? But I learned power. I learned about power. Just because you got the ability to do something, if you don't know when, where, or how to use it, it's not power. It's not power. All of these lessons I learned, I never would have gotten them nowhere else. You see? I think that prison should be turned into a school. Me. I want to put a program where I can go back in there and show them I'm real because I stand for what I believe. He stands for what he believes. You got to be able to communicate. That's all of our problem. Why would we have a problem if we communicate? You see people, how do you communicate? It's a difference between hearing and listening. People that hear you, they just ready to respond. Listening, they want to understand. They want to understand. And so if we can get to the point, all of us, I'm going to say this, one of the first enslavers of black people were black people.
True.
In Africa. That's Northern Africans. Some of the Southern Africans. And guess what is? One of the first folk boats there, one was named Jesus. You see? And it's not to knock Jesus because man done tainted the Bible. You go in the Bible, I hear people talking about, oh, that's a I can't even say it. I don't know how to say it. That's an alternative lifestyle preaching the choir. And see what they mess up being, when you go to church, you ain't looking for the dirty water. Go get your water. Go get your water. I don't care if they smoking crack over there. Go get your water and get on out because the devil like water too. You don't get a water some meal, right? So it's kind of that thing, man. I'm gonna pass it back to my brother back.
And we kind of get down to the end and show you where, like, we had these conversations throughout life where we were talking about music. Smoke went on to do a song UGK. I formed a record company called Southwell Record. I had many artists, and like other drugs that we were trying to watch out. And I wasn't thinking about the money part. I was just wanting to be famous.
Mm-hmm.
So I went and made the company. I learned well, black people, that's all they do is rap all day. That's all they do. My son rapping right now. So, and I get tired of I'm a rapper. And we said, well, look, we was wanting to do songs when we was younger. We didn't get a chance to do that. Seeing each other in the county jail, we started rapping. I told you about beating on the doors. We didn't get a chance to do it then. So in our later age now that we doing, he doing music, I was doing music with my son, and we come together and did songs. Last time we was here, we played a video here called Crown Me with the beautiful lady live with apostrophe right here, his wife. And we just want to show the people, like, it can be so bad for you at times. It can look so dim for you at times. But the only person that don't win is a person that gives up. That's how you win a fight. The water crisis down in Jackson, we came up and we talked about it. We said things about Jackson because Jackson's not all bad. The murder rate was 150 last year, 155 last year. But people will always talk about the bad things in Jackson. But the murder rate now is like 110. I don't think it'll get to 150. That's not big, but it's a small percentage that it went down. And people don't talk about that. People don't push that to the front. People don't show where the police is policing. They show more of the police doing wrong than doing right. It's more police doing right than doing wrong. And I'm a convicted felon, and I can sit here and say it with a straight face. If you close your eyes ready now, I close my eyes, can you picture this world without police? Without authority. And I ain't saying dictatorship. I'm saying things that people that already sat at the table and agreed on. We are the people that trying to build a bridge, and we know one thing. We can't build a bridge from one side to the other. It got to come from both sides. We know that. We sat down at the table with Burl King. We both sat there. And we asked them about going into prison because we want to connect these guys that look just like us. Some of them think just like us. They want to be free. But if we don't give them the chance, if we don't talk, if they can vote, it's some people that can vote. They don't even know they can vote in Jackson. In prison. That can help the situation. It's a lot of things that people don't understand about when they say they abolished slavery in Mississippi. They left one thing out. In prison. They didn't tell nobody that. Nobody failed to read that. They didn't read that. They didn't read the 13th. They didn't read the 13th Amendment. You got to read that all the way to the end. When you go to prison, you subject to slavery. The same job you do in prison for 2 pennies, they do out here for $30 an hour. And you can't get out and get that same job. I can't go apply for that same job. Those are the things that we look at. Those are the things that we fight for justice for. Because you go to prison don't mean you have to be in prison the rest of your life. I'm not in prison, y'all. My mind is free. But I do want everybody that look like me to feel just like I feel. And if I can help that, I know if Fred can help that, Smoke can help that, he gonna help that.
I enjoy the storytelling. I do. And I'm gonna be serious. I'm not gonna waste your time. Like right now, for our existence to be in the now, I'm gonna say this. Like the way I don't want to get too. I don't want to be a Saskadillian. I don't know words. I just like words, and that means that you're using big words with small words to do. So, the way that we operate is through relativity. We bring solidarity through relativity, which means we only deal with the people that we love and know. I'm not going to meet you from Jimmy Ball. No, sir. No, man. Because what this does, it creates a group of love. If I love you and you love me, you're not going to bring anybody to me that you don't love because you love me, right? So whoever you bring is going to love you. Therefore, I already know that they love me. So it's the communication. It's the number, the way that you deal with things and look at things. You see? And a lot of us on this earth, we don't think about death. We don't think about that because when you die, you know, you go through the funerals and all that. But the only thing, like I was saying to the lady, the only thing that's going to happen is how you going to be remembered after you're gone. What you do well when you was here? Who'd you make a leader? Who'd you enrich that carried the world and came back and gave you credit because you dead now? See? You know it ain't what you take, it's what you leave behind. So I think that the communication, we all need to find a better way to communicate. How you gonna come together and you can't talk to me? And if you can't talk to me, how can I tell you I love you?
Right.
See?
Gotta change the mindset.
I'm not smart at all. Maybe I have a little bit of that, but I know what a problem looks like. We, I'm in it. We all work ourselves to death. Who gonna help the helper when the helper need help? And it's like all the helpers fighting and never end. I was talking to that lady, she told me something about PTSD, and it's like a fingerprint. Everybody get it and it's different. How you gonna have one recipe for all them PTSD? And then how you gonna do it, right? So you gotta go to the source of things. They say, okay, whatever. What's the source? Is it the Constitution? Is that it? Go back to that. Go back to that and do it now. Do it now. That's the answer. Do it now. Redo the Constitution where everybody's inclusive. No 3/4 of human. No none of that. That's your answer. Y'all fight the surface stuff. Wobbly. Jackson got it in Jackson got in this crisis because of the policy, right? And I'm just gonna be real. They had what's 1890 law, Jim Crow law. They upheld it. They upheld that law and said that it was conceived in slavery, but it doesn't operate that way. If I have a child with a woman, ain't that child gonna operate like a human? And they're gonna talk. And they're gonna. So these things are the things that we have to talk about in truth. In truth and in love. You got to have these hard conversations. Otherwise, we're gonna be meeting 501c3 to the end of time. We're gonna be in here meeting, and then the thing about these meetings, what I like now is that I'm able to collect. I want to make connections. I want to know, it don't matter white, purple, green. We want to make connections. See, because we understand it's the communication, and that's what we are. We're communicators, but we're fortunate enough to go to a place and gain a level of communication that most people never been locked up have. That's what makes us unique. Only guys like us can do what we do, because they're not going to respect anybody that hasn't been through what they've been through. They're not going to care about you until they know you care about them. See? And they sense feel like animals. Right. They sense. They don't. I'm sorry. They sense feel like an animal. Like, I'm trying to figure out what's going on with these young guys, and so I figure, okay, it's the music. Okay? That's one big thing, those cell phones. Those cell phones raise our kids. It ain't no coincidence everybody want to wear some pants the same. They want to have their hair the same. He live in Georgia. They stay in Albuquerque, New Mexico, but they look the same. You see? That means they're being communicated to, right? So how do you combat that? You communicate back. That's why when we do the music thing, they talking about killer. I done did all of that. I done did what you're trying to be and seen what you're trying to see. So what we do is we incorporate messaging in our music because there's a psychology there. God gave me that gift, and and it affects people. You can measure words in such a way and put them with a melodic beat, and they can make you feel something. And you can't even stop it because it's music, unless you're deaf. That's one of the tools that we use. All of the people that have something, if you have a representation of something, put some music in front of it to say what you're doing. It don't matter if you don't get you don't get back. Go get whomever. But have them to put a musical message out to show what you're about. That'll be more effective than anything. I want y'all to leave here with something to do.
Right.
We like to do. We humans doing. We ain't just human beings. And I'm not trying to grandiose y'all. I came here to talk, so I'm gonna talk.
Right.
I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
See, we love y'all. We love y'all. We respect y'all. We're not the funny guys. We wouldn't be here. We don't deal with the funny guys. Not that we're mean guys. We just know how to place our emotions in the right place, right? Because that's a part of communication too, right?
Yeah. And our whole mission is to change the mindset. That's what Chance and Choice about. Is to sit down, have a collective conversation. If you don't like me, I don't like you, that's cool. As long as we respect each other. That's what we gain understanding and knowledge and wisdom. When people can't sit down and talk, that's when they show ignorance. See? And you got to be more inclusive together. If we say we together, everybody here, when he said make a connection, that's what we come up here for. That's why we go. Anywhere we go, we trying to find resources. We trying to get things the way we vision down there, our agendas the way we see it, and it's working the way we see it. Even though we have no fun, but we got resources there. We got people we call, hey, he need a job, and that helps us. That helps us a lot when our word means something to people and they take it from us.
Right. And so we operate to a concept that people own money. Money don't own people. So if you invest in the purse, whether they got something or not, you might be investing in an angel. You never know. It's just a situation to where, you know, more or less, we're just trying to be honest and not go back to jail. We trying not to go sell no drugs no more.
I ain't gonna sell no drugs.
We put up, no, what you mean?
We done with that.
What I'm saying is this. We have this situation that has allowed us to stay out of that situation, right? And so the kind of money that we have, only God can give it to you.
That's right.
I was on parole in Louisiana. Before I got off parole, I met with Burl Cain. Used to cook for him out there on the DC, send it to the thing. And I said, Mr. Cain, because we was in front of the AACP, right? And they couldn't make the connection. They couldn't communicate. But what was unique about me, I spent 10 years in Burl Cain's system. So I was able to translate to them how it does work because I'm proof right here, don't you know? You see? And so we're giving Burl Cain what he wants, his grace. He allowed us to go back into the prison with no money, right? Going to the worst prison in Mississippi and building a studio with no money, right? I got friends. When I got friends and family, not friends, we don't need friends, family that believe in what you're doing, they'll bring it to you. That's how it works. It don't take no bunch of money. It'll take a little bit to show people you love.
You know Mississippi lead the world for mass incarceration, right? Y'all do know that, right? Louisiana?
And the switch is one.
Y'all do that?
Well, Jackson #1 for murder. Bet you that.
Be y'all on that.
Yes, please. I'm sorry. Anybody got any questions? We'd be more than happy to answer them. Yo. Ooh. Right. Right.
I just want to ask this one question because I know many that have been in prison for a long time, but still a lot of brothers around that I've been in prison. And especially those who have been wrongly convicted. I know we have something in common. You know, you can kind of sense the character of those type of brothers. It's hard to actually detect, that is, if a brother's been to prison, if he was doing the right things in prison in order for him to return to society. It's hard to tell. I would never have
You right.
expected you brothers to have been in prison if y'all would not have mentioned. But this is a question I would like to ask, because this is something I've had for a long time, and it wasn't one, but it was many visions that I had. So I just want to ask, was it any particular vision that y'all had that really motivated y'all to actually help, to put y'all where y'all are now, and has those visions materialized as y'all speaking now?
I can answer real quick. For me, my grandma used to always say, be careful what you pray for. I prayed for wisdom. And I got a whole lot of problems to get that wisdom. I'm still getting that wisdom today because I don't know what I am. I don't have a title like what a name is. I'm talking about the spirit contained within, right? The spirit of the person. That's what you got to do. You got to, in order to be able to communicate right, you got to identify that person by their spirit. You don't come with words like, I still hadn't got what I asked for. I'm here right now, but I know more gotta go. I'm in the now, man, right now. I might be dead the next 5 minutes. I made a plan, a whole plan, big. I'm going to get me some boudin, you heard me?
And for me, like, I was already like, when I was selling the drug, I had a bunch of money. I went from 100,000, 200,000, 300,000. So in the neighborhood, I was already giving bikes away to kids. I was paying bills. I was paying so many household bills because I didn't want nobody to tell on me. You know what I'm saying? Don't tell on me. You need your bill paid. You need something for your house. You need your car. I was that type of person because I knew it took money to make money.
Right.
That's the bottom line of everything. It takes money to make money.
Right.
So at that point where I was giving, I started to think about my giving and not just giving it with an agenda. I started to understand that I wanted to give it to a person I felt needed. So I was doing it then. So when I went to prison, I've been in prison like 4 times. I've been in training school 3 times. I've been locked up all my life. The time I got out, I thought I was having a good time. It was a rodeo. I was selling drugs and shooting it up, and everybody, I was getting shot. I was on the operating table. Just things that happen in your life, and you know that you put yourself in them situations. And people got to understand that you can point a finger, blame, complain, but you got to say, ultimately, I put myself in that situation. And accept your role in that situation. We do that. I show, if you ever get a chance to listen, I show it called Take Your Lick. And that's one of the things about it. So it came to fruition when I got out this time. And I was sitting there and I was like, man, I can't go back to prison. Many times, I said that many times. I ain't going back to prison. And right back in out went. But it was always something valid that I went for. So I knew it was always, I was putting myself in a situation, even though I might want to blame you for hating me or don't like me, but I came to that situation with you knowing you don't like me. If I'd have did the right thing then, I wouldn't be in prison. But I want to say, I'm protecting myself. I'm doing this and doing that. When I'm provoking you and I know you don't like me, like kids, just like kids at school, go out and start a fight, they go out and fight. But when I got out, I hooked up with Freddy, and I asked him one question. I said, how old are you, Freddy? Smoke said, I'm 50. I said, well, I'm 49. And we probably a year younger than then or whatever. And I said, what's the life expectancy of a black man living naturally without getting killed, robbed, beat, just naturally? The percentage. Can anyone guess that? Can anybody? You can look it up if you want to, but I'm going to say 70. I'm going to give him 70 years old, a black man. Now, he's 50. I'm finna be 50 in 3-4 months. How many times? What you think we start thinking about?
Schools and teams.
What could we do good right now? Because we know we done effed up.
We know we done did this. And we not ducking that part. We did our time for it. So we wanted to roll out like, man, listen, this is what we're going to do. This is how we going out. It ain't how you start, it's how you finish.
I wanna tell this brother here I'm sorry. What I did, I answered your question too fast. See, I'm a human. Now my answer is, I don't know. I don't know. What I do know is that I took some time to spend some time with myself, by myself and God, and I figured out that I didn't know. And I don't know who knows, because if you ask us how they know, at the end of the day, they're not going to know either. So I don't know. So I apologize for giving you an answer based on my human mind trying to deal with it with my emotions. So
we gotta go big or go home. We're down to the gold. Never been a better time.